Okay, we're closing in on the end of the prologue. So I went double screen here. I'm going to go translation on this side and Middle English on this side, just so you can see it and see the similarities and differences. But we've been introduced to all the characters. I noticed Chaucer didn't describe himself. He just assumes that we know what he looks like because he's the most famous rock star on the whole planet. But there's one more pilgrim left to meet. And then he's also going to tell the story about how this story is going to go. So here we go. Now have I told you briefly in a clause the state, the array, the number, and the cause of the assembling of this company in Southwark at this noble hostelry known as the Tabard Inn, hard by the Bell. But now the time is come wherein to tell how all we bore ourselves that very night, when at the hostelry we did alight, and afterward the story I engage to tell you of our common pilgrimage. But first, I pray you, of your courtesy, you'll not ascribe it to vulgarity, though I speak plainly of this matter here, retailing you their words and means of cheer, nor though I use their very terms nor lie, for this thing do you know as well as I. When one repeats a tale told by a man, he must report as nearly as he can, every least word if he remember it, however rude it be or how unfit. Or else he may be telling what is untrue, embellishing and fictionalizing too. He may not spare, although it were his brother. He must as well say one word as another. Christ spoke right broadly out in Holy Writ, and, well, you know well, there's nothing low in it. And Plato says to those able to read, the word should be the cousin to the deed. Also, I pray that you'll forgive it me, if I have not set folk in their degree, here in this tale, by rank as they should stand, my wits are not the best, you'll understand. Okay, a lot of this passage is Chaucer excusing himself. He's saying, hey, don't kill the messenger. I'm telling you things the way that I see them. So if you're offended, or if you think I'm vulgar, then you just need to know this. I'm telling the truth. So don't hate the messenger and just enjoy the story. Okay. Great cheer our host gave to us every one, and to the supper set us all anon, and served us then with victuals of the best. Strong was the wine and pleasant to each guest. A seemly man our good host was withal, fit to have been a marshal in some hall. He was a large man, with protruding eyes, as fine a burgher as in Cheapside lies, bold in his speech, and wise, and right well taught, and as to manhood, lacking therein naught. Also he was a very merry man, and after meat at playing he began, speaking of mirth among some other things, when all of us had paid our reckonings, and saying thus, Now, masters, verily, you are all welcome here, and heartily, for by my truth, and telling you no lie, I have not seen this year a company here in this inn fitter for sport than now. Fain would I you happy, knew I how. And of a game have I this moment thought, to give you joy, and it shall cost you naught. Okay, that part was probably very confusing for you. Here's what's going on. Okay, they're all at the Tabard Inn. Well, guess what? The Tabard Inn has an owner. And the owner is pleased that all these people have showed up at his place. And he's like, hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we play a game? I am so happy that you are all here. So here he goes. This is his proposal, and this is the host of the tabard. You go to Canterbury. May God speed, and the blessed martyr soon requite your meed. And well I know, as you go on your way, you'll tell good tales, and shape yourselves to play. For truly there's no mirth nor comfort none. Riding the roads as dumb as is a stone. And therefore I will furnish you a sport, as I just said, to give you some comfort. And if you like it all by one assent, and will be ruled by me of my judgment, and will so do as I proceed to say, tomorrow when you ride upon your way, then by my Father's Spirit who is dead, if you're not gay, I'll give you up my head. Hold up your hands, nor more about to speak. Okay, so he's like saying, hey, I will go with you on your journey to Canterbury, but I want you all to agree I have a game that we should play while we're on the way. And he's still talking. Our full assenting was not far to seek. We thought there was no reason to think twice, and granted him his way without advice, and bade him tell his verdict just and wise. Masters, quoth he, here now is my advice, but take it not, I pray you, in disdain. This is the point, to put it short and plain, that each of you, beguiling the long day, shall tell 2 stories as you wend your way to Canterbury town, and each of you, on coming home, shall tell another 2. All of adventures he was known befall, and he who plays his part the best of all, that is to say, who tells upon the road tales of best sense, in most amusing mode, shall have a supper at the other's cost, here in this room and sitting by this post. When we come back again from Canterbury, and now the more to warrant you'll be merry, I will myself and gladly with you ride, at my own cost, and I will be your guide. But whosoever shall my rule gainsay, shall pay for all that's bought along the way. And if you are agreed that it be so, tell me at once, or if not, tell me no, and I will act accordingly no more. Okay, what he's saying is that the owner of the hotel or the tabard is proposing a game. He's going to have a storytelling contest, and each pilgrim will have a chance to tell 2 stories going to the shrine of St. Thomas Becket and 2 stories coming back from the shrine of St. Thomas Becket. And whoever tells the best story will win a free dinner. You guessed it, the host is a member of the middle class. Okay, sorry about the interruption. Our last character goes under the middle class. The host, I think his name is Harry. He's the one that proposes the storytelling game. He's the leader of the pilgrimage. He has good charisma. Like, I can't even imagine if I run a hotel and then like 30 people show up, and then all of a sudden what, I'm going to like join them on their crusade? I don't think so. But Harry Bailey's that kind of guy. And as we read the stories, we're going to get to know a little bit more about him. All right, that is the end of the prologue, except for the very end. So here we go. This thing was granted, and our oaths we swore, with right glad hearts, and prayed of him also, that he would take the office, nor forego the place of governor of all of us. So the host would be in charge of everybody, even the knight who ranks much higher than him. Judging our tales, and by his wisdom thus arranged that supper at a certain price, we to be ruled each one by his advice. In things both great and small, by one assent, we stood committed to his government, and thereupon the wine was fetched anon. We drank, and then to rest we went every one, and that without a longer tarrying. Okay, so he proposes the storytelling contest, and they all agree, basically because there's 30 of them, and the winner gets one meal. Like, so everybody contributes a couple of pennies or something. All right. Next morning, when the day began to spring, up rose our host, and acting as our cock, he gathered us together in a flock, and forth we rode, a jog-trot piecing the pace, until we reached St. Thomas's watering place. And there our host pulled horse up to a walk, and said, "Now, masters, listen while I talk. You know what you agreed at set of sun. If evensong and morning song are one, let's here decide who first shall tell a tale. And as I hope to drink more wine and ale, whoso proves rebel to my government shall pay for all that by the way is spent." Basically saying, if you don't want to play, you're going to have to pay. Come now, draw cuts before we farther win, and he that draws the shortest shall begin. "Sir Knight," said he, "my master and my lord, you shall draw first, as you have pledged your word." "Come near," quoth he, "my lady prioress, and you, sir clerk, but put by your bashfulness, nor ponder more, out hands flow every man. At once to draw a cut each one began, and to make short the matter as it was, whether by chance or whatsoever cause, the truth is that the cut fell to the knight, at which right happy when then was every wight, thus that his story first of all he'd tell, according to the compact it befell. As you have heard, why argue to and fro? And when this good man saw that it was so, being a wise man and obedient to plighted word given by free assent, he slid. Since I must then begin the game, why welcome be the cut, and in God's name. Now let us ride, and hearken what I say. And at that word he rode forth on our way. And he began to speak with right good cheer, his tale anon, as it is written here. Now, the next part of the story will be the knight's tale, and we're not going to read it because it's like epic long. It is so long, it's ridiculously long. It's kind of like Beowulf long. So we're not going to read it, but I'll show you all a cartoon about it and give you, because you should be familiar with it. All right, so on Monday, after the quiz, you guys will learn about the Knight's Tale. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.